Hey guys, so recently Revlon came out with a new foundation and powder called the Nearly Naked Foundation and Pressed Powder, and a lot of people have been looking into them after we've heard great things from the American beauty gurus here on YouTube. But the foundation and powder retail here for $25.95, which is pretty pricey if you're not entirely sure what you're buying. So I thought I'd make this video, which is a little demo and review of how I've used these products for the past couple of weeks to see whether there's something that will suit you. So without further ado, let's just get started. So at the moment my skin is completely bare. I've just put on moisturizer and I'm going to go straight in and put on the Revlon Nearly Naked Makeup in 110 Ivory. I'm not even going to use a primer because I don't usually use a primer on my dry skin, but you can definitely use one if you prefer to use one. So starting off, this is the bottle. It's a glass bottle with a plastic top, and unfortunately it doesn't have a pump. It is just a pour out jar, which is a serious setback for me. It almost made me not want to buy this product because pumps are just so much easier. I don't know why companies don't put pumps on their products. So I'm just going to try and measure out however much I think I'm going to need on my face. But it's really just a guessing game if you don't have a pump. Something I've noticed particularly about this product is it's very, very runny. More so than any other liquid foundation that I've used. I'm just going to dot the product on my face with my fingers, and then I'm going to go in with this bamboo face brush from Ageless. So it does blend in quite well into the skin, but as you can tell already, it's quite a light coverage foundation and definitely not something you should use if you're looking for a heavy coverage. So there you go, that's one layer of the product. As you can see, it's quite a light coverage foundation, but I do really like the color. It's quite a good color match for my skin tone and it blends in really nicely. I would say it was quite a dewy finish on my skin, which is a dry skin, so I can imagine it would be quite oily if you have oily skin. One thing that a lot of people have pointed out that I tend to agree with is after the first application, this foundation is a little bit sticky on the skin, which can make applying a second layer quite difficult or applying a powder immediately on top quite difficult. So bear that in mind when you're using it. Let it sit for a little while to set first before you put a product over the top. I'm now going to quickly conceal with the Covergirl and Olay Simply Ageless Eye Concealer in 210 before we move on to powder. Now that the foundation and concealer is all down, I'm going to go in with the Revlon Nearly Naked Pressed Powder in 110 Fair. This is the lightest shade from the collection, and I'm just going to lightly dust this all over everything to set it. I'll be using this bamboo powder brush from Ageless. Something that I've noticed with this powder is it's so finely milled that if you rub your brush around in it, powder goes everywhere. So I just like to dab it really gently, cover my brush with powder, and then dust it all over my face. There you go. So something I really like about this powder is that it mattifies really nicely while leaving a slight naturalness to the skin, and I think that's because it's so finely milled, and it's also a really great light color so that it adds a little bit of color to your skin but not making it really cakey. Out of the powder and the foundation, I would definitely say the powder is my favorite product because I can use it really easily with other foundations, and it's just a really nice finely milled powder. Now I'm going to complete the rest of my makeup and then come back. So this is what it looks like with all the rest of my makeup on top of it. I must say that I really do like this foundation and powder combination. I think they're really great for a nice natural finish, not too dewy and not too matte when you use them together, and they just look really, really nice and natural, which makes a lot of sense because they're the Nearly Naked products. A few things I'll mention about the range just in general. I was really impressed by the color selection. There's something like 16 different shades for the foundation, which is crazy. It means that if you have really light skin like me, you can find a foundation in the range, and if you have really dark skin, you can still find a foundation in the same range. I'm pretty sure the powder comes in 3 or 4 different shades as well, which is still great for a powder. I also quite like their color selection in that they have a pretty good range of cool and warm tones. So if you're super pink, you don't have to buy a foundation that makes you look really orange or yellow. And if you're super yellow, you don't have to buy a foundation that makes you look white as anything. I have the shade 110 Ivory, which I'm pretty sure is the lightest of the pink tones. I think the lightest yellow tone is called Vanilla. I'm not entirely sure, but they have charts when you go and buy them to see which ones are warmer and which ones are cooler, or you can just have a little swatch fest and see which one matches along your jawline. It's just really nice to see Revlon branching out and trying to appeal to a wider range of skin tones in their customers. But I will reiterate how much I don't like the fact that their foundations don't have pumps. That doesn't make any sense. I don't think I've come across anyone who prefers a non-pump foundation. So all in all, if you're looking for a really nice natural foundation with a light coverage and a nice pressed powder that's very finely milled, then I definitely recommend the Nearly Nakeds. But I kind of think this foundation would work best on dry skin or normal skin if you like a really dewy finish. But if you have oily skin and you don't want something quite so dewy, maybe you should try the Color Stay for oily combination skin. That's a really good foundation, and it's really heavy coverage if that's what you're looking for as well. So there you go, those are my thoughts on the Revlon Nearly Naked foundation and pressed powder. Please let me know if you've tried these products and what you thought of them, or if they worked out for you. I hope you found this review and demo helpful. Please let me know if you did, and thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye!